What's going on YouTube? This is Aaron from Departures Capital, and holy smokes guys, it's been a while since we've done a live stream. Obviously yesterday we interviewed JR Ron from MindMed, which was an awesome interview, but I wanted to live stream again today so that we didn't get the first little bit cut off. So I'm just gonna fire up the comments. You guys can feel free to drop some comments below, but I'm gonna go about like my normal market minute video, and then we will take some comments at the end. We'll see the turnout, but anyways, let's get straight into it. So the first thing we gotta say, and I love this, actually I haven't live streaming in so long, but now I can tell you guys to smash the like button. So smash the like button if you know, since I haven't live streamed in a while or whatever, I can say that more than once. So anyways, if you support me in the channel and the video, smash the like button, along with if you have not subscribed yet, but you want constant, steady updates in the markets, please feel free to subscribe, and we're gonna get straight into this market minute video. I wanna talk about my top 10 stocks, but first we're gonna talk about the news, and the stream seems to be working, so yeah, it's cool. All right guys, so we're going to go over a couple comments of the day first, and then we will talk about the news, and then we'll get into my top 10 stocks. I'm going to give you my opinion on each one of them. Some of them we've talked about quite a lot, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. So Scott Lyons, great call on TAAT and MindMed. I invested in them earlier in the year because of your channel, paying off well. Nice to hear it. Another one, TAAT and MindMed, IMO best speculative stocks right now. Best companies to 5x or 10x. We did see, you know, some really good returns already. MindMed having a fantastic day again, back up over $1. TAAT is pulling back a little bit. What's up, Andrew? I don't have a position in Very, but I do have a position in MindMed. MindMed and TAAT. So 3 comments in a row. Wait until these stocks start to list on the NASDAQ. And then Masonic Kid, we need a First Majestic Silver update. Since last interview, we've acquired the silver stream from First Mining Gold. Eric Sprott invested the most in any silver company yet, and most importantly, helped fund the reopening of 1, if not 2 mines. And they have the new Hig mill on site being installed. Great things to come, and I'm trying to get Keith Newmeyer back on the channel, working on that. We also have 2 more interviews coming up this week, so we'll keep you guys updated. John Sebastian, love TBX, CEO bought 15,000 shares today. I feel like the drill results got misinterpreted by many investors today. It was not bad at all. We should see the share price recover nicely this week if the market doesn't crash. And yeah, I still like TBX. What can I say? Trying to get Brian on. Just sent him another message today, so we'll see if we can get some more updates for you guys. Silvercrest Metals from Masonic Kid. I'll take requests, so if you guys want to, you know, put it in the live chat, or just drop a comment with your favorite stocks. I'm going to make a video this week about, maybe we'll do top 10 viewer requested stocks. We won't have time to go super in depth, but we can definitely take a look at some of those. You think it's late for a position in TAAT and MindMed? Thanks again for the Rico. That's a tough question. I mean, TAAT's ran a lot more than MindMed. I still feel like, you know, TAAT has had a crazy run, but pulling back a little bit. Some people might take that as a buying opportunity. Really hard to say right now, but we'll see. Graphite stocks, they're taking off. Heard Tesla's demand alone will be more than the current world production. I wouldn't be surprised. So Discovery Metals, that's what I like to see. Kirkland Lake and Fortuna. Okay guys, that's it for comment of the day, but I clearly see that this stream is working, so that's kind of what I wanted to do today. I did this stream because I wanted to test if the auto start stop works, because yesterday's interview got cut off by a little bit. But anyways, I'll just continue on with the news and then into the top 10 stocks, and you can feel free to offer those comments. Make your corner webcam bigger. Sorry, man. This stream's not about looking at me. I made it small for a reason. Okay, so let's see what's going on Wall Street first. So in terms of commodities are down. S&P, Dow Jones, NASDAQ's finally in the green, but the S&P and the Dow lead the way. So let's see why. The S&P and the NASDAQ retreated on Tuesday. Oh, this is old news. See if we can get an updated article. 40 minutes ago. The Dow climbed on Tuesday as traders weighed up the prospect of further global illness, stimulus, and lawmakers set to resume talks. So more stimulus. That's pretty much what's been pushing the markets for a while. Now let's take a look and see what's going on the S&P. Up 0.2%. Gold is taking a hit today. Still above 1900 though. I'm happy to see that. Silver is taking a much bigger hit, down below 24 bucks per ounce. I've got some news from Kitco, so we'll talk about that in a sec. But yeah, silver has been, it's had an interesting month. It's attempted this recovery off of 22, and it's looking more neutral than it is bullish, at least in my opinion right now. Tesla is selling for a crazy high price. Did you hear about the one that turned into a convertible on the highway? I did not. So let's take a quick look at Tesla, and then we'll get on to the gold and silver news, and then it will be my top 10. So we've got 29 people in here so far, so smash that like button. I'm going to remind you guys one more time to see how many people we can get. It's been so long since I've live streamed, and I didn't really plan for this. It's more so just a test, but we'll have some fun with it. Wow, Tesla's trading at 420 today. What an interesting number. All right, guys, so just to go over a few quick gold and silver related headlines. This is old news, but it's stuck on CNBC's homepage. So UBS says you should buy gold now. So getting a little bit more mainstream coverage. Precious metals. Gold and silver slip as US dollar steadies. Risk aversion not keen. Gold and silver prices are lower midday US trading Tuesday, presumed by a modest rebound in the US dollar index today, and still upbeat traders and investors' risk attitudes. Early this week, gold futures were down 10 bucks. So let's see what's going on for the DXY. And it's up 0.01%. That's not much of a recovery to me. So maybe just taking a breather. Fingers crossed. Let's hope the dollar keeps on dropping. And yes, MindMed is up again today. So the last thing I wanted to talk about. So this is on Kitco, the MindMed CEO, and I wanted to read this real quick. So this sector may unfortunately be the next great growth story. This economic contraction and lockdowns around the world have created a huge spike in reported mental health conditions in the U.S. as a result of unemployment and the stay-at-home measures. 40% of adults reported mental health substance use in June. 11% seriously considered something very bad, up from 4% in 2019. Companies like MindMed create drugs to help battle mental health, and addiction. So these are words from J.R. Runn. Are going to be around for the next 10 to 20 years, and these are far larger problems and far larger markets that are going to evolve. Unfortunately, I believe that North America's next great growth story is mental illness and addiction. So it's right on Kitco's webpage. Flippy Gat 3. That is a possibility. If we see a Biden win, then we could see, some speculation that it will be federally legal. So this is the last article. Then we're going to get, this is the second last article. Actually, I do have an update for ACV for you guys. So, and it's not good news. When is it? Gold price holding above 1900 as Fed's policies risk of doing too little. This is the last headline. Gold market is holding on to critical support above 1900 an ounce, but is struggling to find any direction as Fed's Jerome Powell said the economic recovery remains uncertain as this global illness spreads. So, striking a slightly optimistic tone, Powell at the National Association for Business that the economy recovery has progressed quickly than expected. However, he added that the road to recovery remains precarious. All right, what's up, Dan the Man? And then the last article, the last, piece of news that I'm bringing to you guys before we get into those top 10 stocks. I'll do the top 10 stocks, and then I'll do a quick little Q&A. This live stream was more so just to test, to see if it's working, to get you guys to smash the like button, and be ready for future interviews. So things are looking pretty good so far. So I may actually live stream a couple future interviews. Let me know if you guys would like, live interviews as opposed to the pre-recorded, edited ones. All right, so ACB could see, so this was the headline. ACB may not see profit for 3 years. Could be 3 years away from sustainable profit, according to BMO Capital Markets. Analysts see the company drifting past the latest timeline given to investors unless they see more meaningful cost cuts. I think it's a matter of, obviously it's a matter of cost cuts, but it's also their CEO, like over 60% of their revenue, I believe, right here. Last month, Aurora said daily special accounted for 62% of consumer dried flower sales, significantly lowering the average selling price. And now he wants to focus on higher margin products, which are a lower percentage of their total rec sales. So I don't know. I think this might not end well. Really, I see a buyout or a merger potentially in the cards for a lot less than maybe what it's trading at now. I don't know, guys. I'll cover the story. Don't mean to say anything negative about ACB, but that's just the way it goes. So now oh my gosh. Okay, so TAAT is pulling back substantially today. Finally having a hefty pullback. I just saw that, and it's escalated over the last 30 minutes. So we were down about 5%. Now we're down about 21%. So it's expected. That's the thing. I mean, when a stock runs like it did from less than $1, this is a month chart. Less than $1 all the way up to over $4. Now we're pulling back to 3. So if you're looking at TAAT, I mean, I got a question saying, pardon me. I'll answer questions in a sec, but Victory Square, it popped on that initial news. It had a lot of news a week or two ago regarding their test kits. They do have millions of orders in test kits, but once again, we see this all the time. The market gets super excited, the stock pulls back. So that's why I always, never financial advice, but I always stress incremental buying as opposed to just put all your money in something and then hope it goes the right way. It's always good to have some cash on the side in case things like this happen. So in terms of TAAT, I think $3 is a level to watch pretty closely right now. A pullback was expected. I was watching it thinking to myself, tremendous run, really nice run, but when's this thing going to pull back? I think, one thing I like about TAAT is it has the appeal of that beyond meat to beyond tobacco. Of course, millennials love these types of stocks. So yeah, keep your eyes on TAAT as it pulls back, and we'll be keeping you guys updated. Of course, we should be making a few more videos for the company as well, so we'll have to get an update after things stabilize. We'll see if it holds on to $3 today. That's a level I'm watching. Now, MindMed, let's get on to the next stock. So that was our first stock. We're going to do 10 in a row right there. So next stock is MindMed. Of course, I had to add this into my top 10. MindMed has gotten a lot of media coverage over the last little while. It's had a pretty awesome week so far. They announced that they're committing $5 million to research on psilocybin at New York University. So that was a really interesting thing, and it's cool because they're just expanding their pipeline. Now, this is not, like with MindMed, they're not just going to have something they're not just going to be able to bring something to market next month. This is like a couple year plan. I'm long on this company, and I plan to hold it for a couple years. That's at least my current time frame. Short term, I hope they get onto the NASDAQ where they can continue this awesome momentum. Work with Canaccord and get onto the NASDAQ. That would be really awesome. And hopefully I get to go. I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, so MindMed, one of my top growth stocks, definitely for this year. And like we just read from the Kitco news, I think that mental health will be a really big issue, and the company that can find, a way to combat that, whichever it is, I think they'll do really well. So guys, next company, Fosterville. Fosterville South has been trading right around $3. Trying to get an update from Brian. I'm gonna assume he's been busy, so we'll see what's going on. Did do a bunch of buying around $3. So that's a level that I think is really interesting. And now we're into October. I believe that vote for that SpinCo is coming up real soon. So Still waiting for that, see what happens with the Spinco. I'm probably not going to add any more to Fosterville before, unless it drops really substantially. So we'll see what happens with that. But I do like Fosterville for their high-grade gold potential, exposure to the exploration stage sector, and quite a decent management team. So the same thing pretty much goes for Turmalina, and I'll admit, I bought a little bit of this over the last month, and they released some results. I don't think they were as bad as what the market interpreted it as, but we sold off about 10% yesterday, and we're down a little bit today. So one level I'd be watching for Turmalina is just over $1, right around $1. I think that's an interesting time to take a look at this one. It kind of has been downtrending a little bit, so I noticed that, but it did do pretty well since its IPO. It IPO'd around, I believe it was 30-40 cents, I can't remember. We got as low as the 20s and then skyrocketed up to almost $2, $1.80. So Turmalina is another one on my list for exposure to high-grade gold and silver. That's really what I'm looking for in this bull market of gold. Fingers crossed we're still in a bull market. Then I want to add more exposure to the exploration stage sector. So that's another one. And then finally, our fifth growth stock. So we're doing 5 growth and 5 dividend stocks. Fifth growth stock, Discovery Metals. So Discovery Metals, this is one that I recently discovered. I was searching for a new silver company. I was like, we always talk about Fortuna. Nothing wrong with that. It's performed really awesome. But I wanted to find a new company, not just any company, but Discovery Metals really caught my eye. Eric Sprott's such a big shareholder. They've had a really nice run, 22 cents to 284, but the stock is down substantially. So that's one thing. I've been trying to find a company that, not only am I comfortable with buying because of management, because of who owns the stock, because of, the properties and the assets that they have, the potential, but also I want to be comfortable with the charts. So yeah, we just talked about TAAT, End Time News, but thanks for your comment. So yeah, Discovery Metals. Now, don't get me wrong, I'll never tell you guys to buy or sell these stocks, and I do think this thing could fall a little bit further if silver gets a little shakier. So bought a little bit in the 170s, now we're in the 160s, and I'll see if it gets closer to $1. That will be the next stop for me. I actually wouldn't mind if the market cooled off a little bit more. In my opinion, it might look like a pretty good time to take a look at Discovery Metals. So those are my 5 growth stocks. Once again, lots of exposure to the gold and silver sector, 3 out of 5. And then we've got MindMed. That's probably the one that I'm most bullish on apart from gold and silver. And then TAAT is a pretty volatile speculative play, but I definitely feel like it's not done. What's up, Trang? You tuned in. So nice of you. Okay, so now into the dividend stocks. Welltower is my first pick. And this is a little bit risky in my opinion because we're still talking about senior care facilities, and with the whole global illness going around, they're definitely going to take a hit, but I like the price. I can't deny that. And also their dividend. They still pay a 4.21% dividend. Well off their 52-week highs of $93. So I think that this is, a 1 to 2 year recovery story, but who knows where the bottom is. Like if we look back in 2008, it took the market, almost a year to bottom. So we're not a full year into this, but I feel like we're getting there. And this is one stock that, I'm willing to hold on to for the next couple of years as just part of my bigger dividend strategy. So Welltower, a little bit more risky than some of the other ones, like the next company we're going to talk about. And I've talked about a lot of these companies before, so this might be, old news for you guys. But I wanted to make this stream, do my market minute, test out the video. So it's kind of like a all-in-one. And you guys get to ask a few questions. So feel free at the end of the video. We'll wait for like 2 minutes and then that's it. So second one, Brookfield Infrastructure Partners. A lot more bullish about this, and this was one of my recent discoveries in the utility sector, and I was always looking at this like they built roads and stuff, but that's not the case, and it's my own fault for not actually researching the company. I just figured infrastructure. Oh, they probably do like roads or highways or whatever, but so wrong to assume. So anyways, Brookfield Infrastructure Partners, lots of utilities, telecommunications networks, and I just love the Brookfield name, still yielding 4% with a $20 billion market cap and a 52-week high of 56. So this is on the American side, of course, on the NYSE. Now, that's one thing. The stock has ran, but it's still not even close to 52-week highs. So I feel like this sector still has some room to go, especially if the markets get a little shaky going into the elections. So that's one to consider. I would like to add to it, but it just keeps on running. And next company, Algonquin. Now this is kind of I'm kind of biased on this one because it's my biggest position in the utility sector, but it's recovered really nicely. And another thing I like about them is, they do have somewhat of a leveraged business in terms of, their earnings are somewhat dependent on their investments. So it's one thing to keep in mind, but they have invested a lot into renewable energy, and I feel like they will, get the green light from the government, and they'll have the okay, especially in Canada. We care so much about the environment, so these are the types of companies that are more favorable and will see more government support. So it still yields 4.23%, $12 billion market cap, Canadian, and a pretty interesting utility co. So if you like, utilities, renewable energy, I believe that they're like 35% exposure to renewable energy. So that one's another interesting one to take a look at. And now let's take a look at Brookfield Renewables. Yes, sorry, got confused there. Brookfield Renewable Energy Partners. This is like the utility version of Brookfield, except for strictly focused on renewable energy sources. So this stock has had a much more interesting run. It's recovered quite substantially, and actually during the initial crash in March, it fully recovered essentially, and then it pulled back a little bit. They had a spin-off, and then we're back up again. So pretty good day, or pretty bad day for Brookfield, but pretty good run for Brookfield over the last little while. And this is another one I might be considering taking a look at. So the dividend yield's not as good as the others. It has more than a $5.3 billion market. Oh no, just a $5.3 billion market cap. Sorry, I always confuse that one with Brookfield Infrastructure. And then last but not least, we'll take a look at the last and final stock of the dividend basket. And as you guys can see, I'm pretty much bullish on when it comes to dividends. I don't really like the financials. I'm more so a utilities guy. Kind of boring, but kind of stable. The last one is XLU Utilities. That's an ETF. It holds some of the biggest utility companies in America, and it's had a nice run. Still not fully recovered. It was above 70 at one point, and it yields 3.27%. So those are the top 10. Now there's one sector that, and there's a couple stocks I want to talk about. Brookfield Property Partners, because this one has been doing good, BPY, but I don't know about long term on this one. So currently trading for $13 per share, 52-week high at 20. We're getting close to those $14 highs that we saw on the initial bounce, but office retail does kind of concern me. So I need to take a look again at my position. That's where averaging down would have really paid off for this stock. If you averaged down at $7, it would have essentially doubled. So kind of kicking myself for that, but I can't really complain because when I was buying in March, I was buying other companies that have 2x and 3x. So it's all relative. So that's one stock that I'm kind of thinking about. And another one, last but not least, these are just bonuses. Northwest Healthcare Properties. This one has recovered quite substantially, if we can see on the 6-month chart, 1-year chart. We're almost back up to $13. We're at $11.64 right now. So I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes or whatever to drop any questions. Also, don't forget to smash the like button and support. We made it to 50 people, which is great, guys, for not announcing it and not really saying much. I just wanted to do this as a test. So offer any questions. If you guys don't have any questions, that's okay with me too. I'm just gonna check in on TAAT, see how it's trading. Holding on to $3. MindMed back up over $1. So guys, we'll give you a quick update and then I'm out of here if we're not going to get any more questions. So we've got a new gold company interviewing just a little bit later today. And then we should have an interview with Victory Square. That's another stock we can pull up real quick. Victory Square. RioCan. Great question. Yeah, so as we can see, Victory Square had a tremendous run from 13 cents. Bounced off 50 a couple times. I'd be watching 50 right now. I think that's a very crucial level on these charts, and we're very close to that. So we'll see what happens for that. Got a few portfolios. One portfolio, MindMed, is over 50%. My expectation on MindMed long term. Honestly, you know, I think in the next couple years, like my outlook is fairly long term with this one. It was trading at 30, 40, 50 cents for a while. We're talking Canadian here. And I'm surprised that it ran so fast, but you never know when things like this happen. Like JR said in yesterday's interview, it'd be wrong to say that Compass didn't kickstart the industry and get people excited, especially with MindMed comparing their clinical trial pipeline to Compass Pathways pipeline, and then you compare valuations and you're like, holy smokes, MindMed is like a couple $100 million. Compass Pathways was well over $1 billion, and they've got very similar pipelines. So the next couple of years, like 1 to 2 years, if things go well, it's hard to say. A couple dollars. I know that the price targets right now sit around an average of $1.88, with price targets as high as $2 or $3. So could I see MindMed hitting 50 cents again? Wow. Got in at 30 cents. Congrats. So yeah, right now it's it's hard to say, because I mean, once again, it is still speculative. Like, I feel like a lot of investors right now are comparing MindMed to Compass. If that's the case and you want to talk similar valuations, then you could say, oh, well, MindMed's a $4 or $5 stock if you compare it to Compass, and it was exactly the same. But that's another thing. Like, there's also speculation surrounding them getting onto the NASDAQ. It's some people hear that and think that, oh my gosh, it's 100% it's going to happen, which it's not. So it's something to be excited about. So far, the company's done well, but I'm going to take this story, I guess you could say month by month, to see how it performs. Thinking of adding at $1. I think, you know, there is a little bit more risk when it comes to adding at $1. Like I said, I never advise you guys to buy or sell stocks. I don't give financial advice. But at $1, I do feel comfortable with holding the company. I haven't sold any, and I don't plan to sell any of my shares, because I feel like it's a couple dollar stock at least in the next couple of years. Even if it, you know, rides the wave of, because psychedelics, one company is going to do it in the psychedelic sector, or more than one company. There'll probably be more than one company to succeed. But MindMed's got a good shot. They've got a very diverse clinical trial pipeline. But once again, we're still a ways away from, you know, bringing something to market, getting FDA approvals. But as the story progresses and we get more certain on the outcome, then obviously that's going to equate to higher or lower share price. But I think it's fun. I think it's a interesting industry. I really think that mental health is a real issue, and it will become more and more of an issue, especially over the next couple years. So in my opinion, it's worth a shot. And I also wanted to add that, when is Shroom going to start trading again? SHRM, or that's been really frustrating because I do have some money just locked up in that one. So I'm glad that didn't happen to MindMed, because that was brutal. I feel like that's what was suppressing the industry also. Now we've kind of moved past that. So we'll see, guys. Anyways, that's 30 minutes. So on your way out, if you did not do it, please smash the like button. I appreciate it. And I'm going to wrap this stream up. Tomorrow's going to be a normal episode, pre-recorded, talking about stuff. But how is one so so good looking? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll answer these last two questions. Very likely they get rejected from the NASDAQ and apply for TSX or NYSE. Yeah, so they've got options. Where do you see silver next year? Man, I hope I see silver above 30 bucks. That's pretty much where I'm looking for. I want to see us get above those recent highs that we set. And I don't know how long it's going to take, but I do think that we will see fresh all-time highs for silver. So my 1 to 3 year, estimate, or whatever you want to call it, price target for silver is above 50. I'm not going to pinpoint it. I'd love to, be Keith Neumeyer and say, yeah, it's going to $130 silver. That'd be sweet. But we'll see. That's all I got to say. I do feel like silver will put in fresh all-time highs. When that happens, hard to say, but I am positioned to capitalize on that. So anyways, 10 of my friends also watch your videos. Man, you're the best. I need more subscribers like you. I appreciate it. And like I said, we'll be doing more live interviews. So this was more so of a test to make sure that we figured it out, because yesterday I had JR on and I was like, we're going live, and then we had to stop him halfway through the interview, and I don't want that to happen again. So we're gonna have some live interviews. They're gonna start flawlessly, and that's it. So more interviews, more videos, more coverage on your favorite stocks on the way. I'm out of here, guys. Smash the like button, subscribe. Smash the like button and subscribe, and that's it.